Aloha YouTube, this is your boy Crypto Roots, and we back at it again with more crypto game, but today it's a little different. Today we're doing an interview with the young, upcoming crypto YouTuber who's a brother, who's an intelligent brother and knows about the crypto space. I found out his channel. I'm like, yo, I need to introduce my audience to this brother right here. And his YouTube channel goes by the name of Everythingcurrency. I like that. It kind of caught my eye. His channel's just from what I've known, it just talks about the DeFi space. And would you like to introduce yourself, brother? What's your name? What do you go by?
Yo, my name is Jay. My name is Jay from Everything Currency. That's the channel. Real name is Jarvis, but you can call me Jay. You know what I mean? Do your thing.
That's what's up. So when did you start your YouTube channel?
So I started my YouTube channel all the way back in the about mid-2017.
Word. Okay, yeah, I started around 2017 too.
Oh, nice.
I got in right before that big bull run. That's right before it. So
yeah, I started my channel before I really started buying a lot of crypto. You know what I mean?
Dope. And so why'd you name it Everything Currency?
I named it Everything Currency because when I first started the YouTube channel, I wanted it to have like a broad reaching spectrum. Like, you know, I wanted to help people with all of finance, not just, you know, just currency in general. You know, I know a lot of people was hurt. I originally started off wanting to do like just mindset videos about currency. I know people had terrible mindset when it comes to currency. I learned about crypto, and it just became mostly crypto from there. But the name Everything Currency, I kept it broad so I can talk about everything from getting your credit right to stacking up with this crypto. So
that's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope. And yeah, like I was telling you earlier, I kind of started the opposite way. But I was doing stocks right before I found out about crypto. So it actually really helped me transition. But as soon as I found out crypto, I was just like, fuck everything else. I'm only going to do crypto. And that's when I actually realized crypto actually involved everything else. Everything else were related to crypto and crypto related to everything else. So that's why I realized like I couldn't just be so locked in, but I had to like, you know, I had to find a way to like brand myself. So I was like, you got to just spit crypto game. But that's dope because, you know, we both got our channels and everything, does actually involve being with cryptocurrency, such as computer science, such as even thermodynamics when it comes to mining and heat. So it goes really deep.
Yeah, it's just, I think that's one of the main things about crypto is people underestimate what it actually is. People just say, oh, Bitcoin, you know, exactly. Bitcoin is going to be, you know, it's not going to be a currency. And I'm just like, well, if you count Bitcoin out, you got AI, you got energy, you got, you know, supply chain.
Yeah, like exactly.
Yeah, you know, there's all type of, I think crypto just gets you can't really put it into one little bubble, actually. It just spreads out across everything.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because at this point in the game, if someone says like crypto's a scam, crypto's done, what they're really telling me is I don't understand money. I don't understand anything about the US dollar. So I see no value in anything other than the US. Like they're just telling me how ignorant they are. And I'm not here to make them feel ignorant. Like that's not my job. But when I mention crypto and people are just like, sounds like a scam, sounds like it's like at the back of my mind, you know, the US dollar is the biggest scam out there right now. Like, you know, it's
the main question that I'll ask people is like, do you even know what a scam is?
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
So now your videos have been focused on DeFi lately, and you know, so have mine. And what do you like about the DeFi space the most? What are some of the top things that you actually like? Because it's like 2017 kind of vibes again. You feel me? When it comes to the crypto, it's that excitement, it's that money, it's the up and the down. So what do you like?
Euphoria, games.
Tell me about your DeFi experience and what caught you, you know, what do you like about it?
Well, like I said, my channel, I wanted to mainly base it upon just, you know, currency and, you know, collecting currency, getting money and everything. And I think I saw like a lot of other people that DeFi is where the money's at. You know, like I'll be quick to tell you that I'm not just solely just, you know, I like projects that are not decentralized as well. You know, I think if you're thinking that decentralized is the only way to go, I think you still don't really know a lot about business. But I think just for right now, looking at the crypto space as a whole and how the majority of it is the products are not ready yet. So it's based on the speculation of these projects getting ready. And just DeFi had the most of that. You know, it had the best use case as of right now that as far as what people could see, you know, and plus, you know, the first goal of crypto was to try to impact the banking, and that's what DeFi is doing. So that's why a lot of my stuff have been focused on DeFi lately, because not only that's where the gains are, and it looks like that's where the most future is right now, as far as crypto goes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when it comes to centralization versus decentralization, and I'm pro, like I push it, decentralization. But until you actually start your own crypto business, until you realize like how things need to be centralized at first. Like at first they have to. How else is it going to be built? Satoshi had to be the central authority at first. Like, you know,
right.
The decisions had to be made of what to do and how to do it in order for it. But compound finance is one of the best examples of how you can start centralized and slowly migrate to true decentralization, DAO governance, and the owner still be involved, not get jealous, not like, but still they aided along the way from centralization to decentralization. It's a process. And that's,
it's a process.
Yeah, a lot of people who haven't started their own businesses or anything like that, they don't actually understand that decisions need to be made, and somebody is going to have to make those decisions. And what happens is, and I've kind of felt this, is that once you get a certain amount of power, especially since you're the one making the decisions or you're part of the group, then a lot of people just really, the problem is they don't want to give that up. They don't want to give up that power. So what they'll do, they'll mask it as a cryptocurrency, like a tether. They'll try to, like Libra. Well, we're a cryptocurrency.
Right. We're decentralized, like.
Right? They still pull this. Say, I don't like that. Now you fucking with people. Now you got the common consumer thinking this shit is something else when it's really not something else, and it's fucking up the game for everything else, right? So
that was the problem with Bitcoin Cash in the beginning is you know what I mean?
But
they were.
Yeah, and so I like and so like I tell, it's the first time you get to shop around for your own jurisdiction. If you don't like the way this community, its monetary policy, how often it mines blocks, if you don't agree with it, then you got two options. You can bounce and leave and use another form of currency, right? Or you can fork it, copy that shit, and just change a few things and start your own. Right. And that's what I love about it, is that the best example is the Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. You know,
right?
I fucks with both of them, like I do.
Me too.
Because, but clearly Ethereum's leading the way. Clearly, it's leading the way. But
see, that's where.
Go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
No.
That's what, I'm just like with Ethereum. Like with Ethereum, that's where people kind of get mistaken too. They're like, everyone's saying, "Oh, ETH 2.0, when's it coming? When's it coming?" You know, it's decentralized, man. It might take some time. You know, all those decisions have to be made in a decentralized way. They all have to be voted on. They all have to be tested and all that. And
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So that's one of the ways you can actually change Bitcoin. And that's where Satoshi wrote it. It's called overwhelming consensus. The only way to change this is generally most of everybody needs to agree to update the software. That's the only way you can actually change the code, by having so you do that. They have BIPs and EIPs, with Bitcoin improvement proposals and Ethereum improvement proposals. But Ethereum changed it to Ethereum request for comments. That's ERC 20. So Ethereum request for comments, and then Bitcoin has Bitcoin. So you, like Compound, you make a proposal and then you have people vote on it and whatnot. That's how you actually get to change things in the decentralized way. But it's easier to change things in centralization, because all you have to do is call up homeboy at the top and be like, yes or no. And homeboy just has to say yes or no. Jeff Bezos, fucking whoever's at the top. And that's
right.
Centralized structures can change more quickly. Decentralized, people are, the thing about decentralized, the ecosystem is that people are really egotistical. No, even though that sounds good, like a good upgrade, fuck it, I'm gonna vote down because I didn't come up with it. You know, like, you know,
it's not gonna impact my bags the right way. So I don't know.
Like everybody's got an opinion, and no one's just gonna be like, yeah, thumbs up. No, that's not. So the decentralized networks are slower to actually make, and that's why Lightning Network hasn't really fully just come in the game. Is because people are like, nah, fuck that shit. We're voting it down, and so. When things actually change in the community, that shows that the community really wanted it. And that's the beautiful part, is that the community really wanted this change.
I mean, people didn't realize, like, decentralized finance, I think definitely there's a big gold mine there. But people don't realize, like, even EOS, when they first came through with their delegated proof of stake, they had a bunch of issues because they needed people to vote and nobody voted. You know, nobody cared to even participate in the whole decentralized part of the system, you know, and that kind of messed up everything. And if the users are not actually going to go out there, put their tokens up, stake them, vote, then you might have problems. You know, it's going to be centralized anyway in a different type of way.
So listen, check this out. You just sparked something. Voting is the new money in decentralized networks. Voting is the new, look at Compound and look at Wi-Fi. Being able to liquidity mine for the governance token, then you're able to actually vote on a currency. So it's like voting is the new money, and you're being compensated with that governance token, which is a form of money, and actually able to vote and affect the system. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I didn't necessarily realize that, is that right now voting is the new money, and you need to even get the token that is worth money to vote. It's crazy. That's some news.
Yeah, like for me, it's just like, you know, like if any of these decentralized protocols, which a bunch of them will probably be used in the future to manage billions and billions of dollars, you know, right now you might, how many times have you thought, man, the bank has all the money. If I own the bank, I'll be good. You know what I mean? Well, here's your chance. You buy these governance tokens, and if this, so say DAI becomes the next big bank, you know what I mean? If you own Maker, then you have a say in the governance of what happens with DAI. So therefore, you have a say in what happens with the bank. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm glad you brought that up, and that's important. And I'm considering getting some Maker, and the reason I'm considering is because it hit over $1 billion in the vaults. I mean, as far as Maker, right? So what we're seeing is you're actually owning Maker is like being part of the Federal Reserve. If I were to explain it to somebody who's not part of crypto, and I'm like, it's your seat at the table of the Federal Reserve, because now we have decentralized dollars. So now you're incentivized, because if Maker fucks up, they take the cost if they're not able to balance the peg right. That comes out of Maker's cost. The people who hold the token, they take the loss. So they're incentivized to govern the token well enough so that it doesn't ever really fall off the peg too far. So that's what it's like being part, like having a table at the Federal Reserve. If I were to explain it to somebody who's new to all this, and it's like, yeah, that governance token, especially if your money, I like Compound. And what I like about Compound is, like, I like the fact that we can choose to raise rates. We can choose to lower reserve factors, like, and that affects your money, man. And, you know, I love it. This whole governance token, liquidity mining, yield farming, it's exciting, man.
The whole space is like, it's pretty exciting just when you get in and you start seeing, like for me right now, I'm just like, man, there's so many ways to make money in this thing, like, you know, and get excited about coming up. You say, man, do I want to liquidity mine? Do I want to yield farm? Do I want to trade? Do I want to buy and hold?
Do I want to stake? You know what I'm saying? I could just stake the 32 ETH. I can stake the 32 ETH and sit on that for the rest of my life and collect fucking fees, bro. Like, and so here's the thing, though. And I want to mention this, because right now the world is going through a time like we've never seen before, historically. Like, this is some crazy shit, right? There's a lot going on. The economy's collapsing. Renters and landlords. Shit's crazy, right?
Yeah.
the media and even social media, more particularly, would have our mind focusing on so much negative. Biden, Trump, Jeffrey Einstein, like, and you got, it's like you're in tunnel vision of thinking the world is going bad, riots, racism, all this shit. But if you look at the other side, which is a small little group of people, they're excited, man.
Yes.
These people are staying up all night, waking up early, you know, and we're like, wow, like we see so much potential. And it's like, like, almost hard to pay attention to all the negativity, even though it's real and it's you know, it's real.
Right.
But this is even more realer because this is that small little hope. This is that
small
light in the tunnel of that darkness, as decentralization, a way out, a way to, like, you know, defund the banks, you know, like just a way out. And now that we see and are involved in it, it's exciting. And I kind of just choose to focus more on this DeFi shit than the protest and the races.
Exactly. Too. You know, and I get, you know, being black, you know, you get shit for it because they be like, man, you ain't been out there in protest, you ain't been out there. You know, for me, I'm just like, look, man, I was out there protesting when Trayvon Martin got killed. That was years ago. You know what I mean? So looking at, and we were out there, what's a protest? You know what I mean? You're asking for them to change something. Now, if we went decentralized, we wouldn't have to ask for shit. There would be no asking. What we think is wrong, what we think is right would instantly happen. We wouldn't have to go to Capitol building and say, Mr. Trump, you know, arrest those people. Nah. If we own the shit, you get arrested. You kill somebody, you get arrested. You know what I mean? No, all bullshit aside. You know, ain't none of this, oh, maybe they were scared for their lives. Maybe. No. You kill somebody who's not supposed to be killed, you got to go to trial. That's the way it should be. Yeah. Every citizen feels that way. Until we get it, like, decentralized. Like, I was just actually talking to my boy about this yesterday. Imagine if, like, right now, the elections in U.S. is coming up, right? Yeah. Now, imagine if they put the election on the blockchain so that we can literally see and make sure that these people are vote. Like, if I vote for whoever the fuck I vote for, you'll know that that vote came from that person. Because we have problems with voter fraud. You can do that with the blockchain. You know what I mean? There's so many, and there's states out here that already started, you know?
There's a channel called Coin Bureau. I don't know if you subscribe to Coin Bureau. He just released a video yesterday talking about the future of 2050, just as if we're in the year of 2050. From the year he made a video from the year 2020 to the year 2050. How did cryptocurrency come into full effect around the world? And he just literally broke it down, event by social event by social event by government event. How we just slowly transition to a full decentralized. So check out that video. I'll leave it link in the description. But in my opinion, you got order followers. Some call them soldiers, some call them cops. I call them order followers. What is motivating them to follow the orders, to pull the trigger, to kill people, to be out there? Like, and honestly, really, if you weren't compensating these people, they would find no real motivation because it's not worth it risking their lives to not get paid, right? They're in it to get paid, They're in it to get paid. So if you crash their system, and their dollar is not worth anything, their pensions are all gone, they can't even feed their families, you really think they're going to be out there trying to, like, police? No, they're going to be like, they're going to go towards the system will crumble from within. And I just don't believe people are going to risk and sacrifice their life to kill a bunch of people if they really weren't being paid. And there's some crazy cops who just are crazy cops. But most of the cops will be like, nah, we're not getting, this is not enough. You know, it's happening.
You know, like soldiers, like, you know, the soldiers who got to come out, like, when there's, you know, when the National Guard has to come down and go into a neighborhood because they're acting crazy. Like, if they were not getting compensated, if they didn't have to basically go to work and feed their family, they wouldn't do it.
And it's happening in Venezuela. The soldiers are rewarded once a month with toilet paper. With toilet paper, that's their reward. There's pictures of this shit. That is their reward. So it's happened in Algeria. I'll get the country what happens is when you crash the currency to a certain point, it's happened already many times. The people with the guns do two things. It ultimately comes down to this. They either drop the guns because their whole family is starving, including them, or they turn the guns around at the people who they were protecting that put them in this position. That's happened time and time again. So people either drop the guns, it's not worth it, or they turn the around the people who caused everything on this. And so it will be a crazy movie to see this all play out. And I just don't necessarily think that like money is just money. It can be used for bad things. You still do illegal things with Monero, you know? So it's all about the mindset. This is just new technology. It's just a tool. And these tools and technologies can be used for good and bad reasons. You can hack. You can hack Aave. You can hack, you know, I mean, you could just go and start stealing everybody's accounts and, you know, SMMS, you know, Gmail hacking. So there's still plenty of room for nefarious scams and artists. So that's not going to change about human nature. And that's why I feel education is so important, is that, you know, yes, we own our private keys, but there's many things that can happen along the way of, you know, so with that being said.
If you honestly, it's one of those things like people talk about, actually, I wanted to talk about when you mentioned that about still do illegal things, you know, Elon Musk had the best argument for Bitcoin. He said, hey, look, if it's used for illegal activities, it has to be used for legal activities first, right? Okay. Like if everybody knew that it was just used for something bad, then nobody would take it, right? It had to be used, it had to be worth something before it was used for illegal activity, you know what I mean? And you got to understand, criminals value their privacy more than the average individual. Why? Because they got a lot more to lose. So anything criminals are using to protect their privacy is usually some of the latest technology out there, you know? So you kind of have to pay attention, you know? Not that, you know, you should do whatever they're doing, but like they're pretty on top of it. When it comes to this dark web shit, it's like, yo, how Tor? So they got to go to Tor, you got to go to here, you got to do this. And it's like, yo, you learn about networking, you become like a computer scientist just learning about this crypto shit, you know? I have a story to tell you about that. So one of my boys actually got rich, not rich, but he ended up coming up like, you know, changed his life, put it that way, because he wanted to buy him a little bit of weed. He couldn't find nobody to buy some weed from. And this was when Bitcoin was pennies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wanted to buy some weed, and the only way he can get it was on the dark web. He was young. I think he was like 16, 17. And this dude went and bought him some Bitcoin and figured out how to do it. Fast forward to 2017, going through a bunch of shit at home in Baltimore. You know what I mean? Life is flipping upside down, opens up his Bitcoin account and finds out that he got like $47,000 just sitting there waiting for it. Comes out to California, changes his whole life, becomes a producer, doing great. All from, you know, early Bitcoin dabbling.
Yeah, I did want to do a series. Called, forgot what I wanted, but like Bitcoin stories or Bitcoin good luck stories or something like that. Because I've heard that a few times where people they got into Bitcoin, shit went crazy, their life went crazy, shit was bad, and all of a sudden they were able to buy a car that changed their life because Bitcoin, you know, they were able to get back into their wallet. And so I enjoy that. I enjoy that it's some, I wouldn't say it's so spiritual, but if you do believe in it, somehow it'll look out for you. You know what I'm saying? Somehow it'll look out for you one way or another. Whether me particularly, it was the education. It was the education. I didn't realize how much I knew because I was living on Maui up in the jungle on an island and farming, but I was studying crypto on my laptop. And then it just happens, I go out to LA, I meet a quote unquote celebrity, and he ended up scamming me out of a lot of money. And then I ended up telling the truth online to his audience, and his audience just freaked out, and they kind of started following and paying attention. So somehow it's crazy, but I was able to use his platform to level up. You know, and now I didn't, and so it and I didn't realize how much education until he put me on his platform, and I started spitting crypto game, and everybody was just like, "What the?" And I didn't realize, yo, people don't even know about this shit. Let me you know. So That was
And
crazy.
that's the crazy part.
Go ahead.
So I had a question for you. I wanted to get going on. It was, so I like to direct a lot of my videos and stuff towards people who are like just getting in, because I'm sure, like, you know, you say you started your channel in 2017.
Yeah.
And I know if you're like me, if you would have known what you knew today on the day that you started in 2017, you'd probably be in a whole, you know,
Absolutely.
even though we both leveled up since then, it'll probably be like double that.
Absolutely.
You know. So what's one piece of advice you would give somebody who's just thinking about getting in? Because I got a lot of people who are, you know, they kind of know what I do, they heard about it, they know what Bitcoin is, but they're a little hesitant, they don't really know what's going on. Like, what would be your first advice for somebody getting like fresh?
Immediately invest in Ethereum. Set up your MetaMask, invest in Ethereum, and put that Ethereum into compound finance. Just that alone, I think is what you immediately should do. And from there, liquidity pools and staking. Why do I say that? Why would I just encourage, even before you, yes, learn about private keys, but nothing feels better to me personally knowing that I'm making passive income. Okay, so that's one.
Yeah.
Nothing feels better. I agree. To actually see visually that I'm making the passive income like I do on compound, right? Knowing that
is the best part.
Yeah, knowing that it has a variable rate, that the interest rate can go up and go down, makes me feel better because I always feel like it can always go up. Not only can the interest rate go up, your liquidity mining at the same time, you're mining the governance token, which is another currency. So that's 4 pluses. Not just that, the market evaluation of Ethereum can go up exponentially. That's number 5. And not only that, it compounds the interest. So you're looking at a form of investing that is very low risk free. Yes, there's a smart contract risk. Yes, there's Ethereum can go down in value, but to roll the dice on just that easy investment strategy, you could sleep better every day knowing that the interest is compounding and that Ethereum is getting more valuable, that you're creating a governance token, and that the interest rate could potentially go up even more and even more. So to me, it's unlimited potential without having to do much extra work, maybe $100 of Ethereum a month. That will be immediately. And the reason I could go into very philosophical, very educational, nothing speaks louder to the human mind and to the personality than the money. Where is the money? I like to give people information that they can apply in real time. Not something you can just sit and think about like stars and suns and moons. No, you immediately download this. You immediately write down your private keys. You immediately sign up for Coinbase or Uphold or Cash App. You send it to this wallet. You invest it in the smart contract. You get your like, do all that, and then we'll talk about how many blocks are mined and how many transactions and bytes and Solidity a source code with the JavaScript. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see people seeing themselves making the money and realize, yo, I'm in a different position now than I was before I talked to Crypto Brutha. I'm damn near a whole different person when I do these mentorships. It's like, you know, so I go hard because I like to see others come up. I enjoy that. It makes me feel better to see other people prosper. The mentee, he scammed me and he scams all his mentees, and it made me realize how evil of a person who can try to pretend there to be people. And when it comes down to it, he stabbed me in the back. So when it comes down to me making music, when it comes down to me and my business, I'm gonna do everything I can not to stab someone in the back because I know how fucking bad that hurts. You know?
Yep.
Yeah, it just set my mind state on value. What is more valuable, the experience or the money? Some people sell their souls for money, and I value the experience while making money.
Yeah.
And seeing others make money, because there's so much of it out there, you know.
Teaching people how to fish and watching them eat.
So if you don't mind sharing with us as much as you're comfortable sharing, you know, like I admit that, I got scammed out of a lot of money, but I'm working on the lawsuit and everything. And that's one thing about crypto versus the traditional legal system is that sometimes you're able to like get some sort of legal justice, right? But when it comes to crypto, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Soon as you send the money, it's a wrap. Soon as you get scammed or in a Ponzi scheme or BitConnect, it's a wrap. You can't go to nobody. Yeah. So I do feel a little better that, maybe I can send this person to prison because it's straight up fraud. But if I made that kind of bad investment in crypto, there's seriously no one to feel sorry for me, nowhere to go. So my question to you was, what was one of the biggest losses you took? Not necessarily how much was it, whatever and how did it affect you? What did you do wrong? What did you do to get back on your feet? And what advice would you give someone who to prevent that from taking a loss, and to just someone who's like, yo, I just took a loss, and to someone who's just getting back on their feet? How walk us through that process, and if you don't mind sharing with us.
I got two for you. I want to get into real quick. The first one is I was in BitConnect. You know, I put my money in BitConnect and thinking that, you know, this is, you know, within 2 years with $200 you can make, you know, 100 racks or 200 racks or whatever. That was the big selling point for BitConnect back then. So when I first got in and not really knowing a lot about finance and stuff like this, I was like, oh, this is great. Within 2 years, I'm gonna have 200,000 from $200, you know. Then I started getting greedy. You know, I started saying, oh man, why would I wait 2 years when I could start off with 2,000 in there and it only take me 6 months, you know, and stuff like that. So with that, of course, beware of Ponzi's, you know, and you can't really tell if it's a Ponzi, but the main advice that I would give towards that is just don't, like, everyone says it, but it's like nobody really, some people don't follow it. I have friends who don't follow it, is don't invest more than you can afford to lose. You know, because I started throwing too much money in there, saying, oh, you know, when I first got it, oh yeah, I'm about to throw half of my paycheck. You know, I was working a 9 to 5, I throw half of my paycheck, you know, and stuff like that. And it was just, at the end of the day, my BitConnect started getting into profit, and I wasn't taking no money out. I wasn't taking no profit out. I was just, you know, getting greedy. So I would say definitely don't get greedy. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. And you know, although this is a huge opportunity, always realize the risk. You know what I mean? Like there's always risk involved. You know, be ready to pull your money out if you have to, which brings me to my second one, which I'm sure a lot of people who got in crypto around the same time I did, which I just held through the bear market. You know, I watched my bags go up and up, and we hit 20,000, and after my bags kept going up, and then they start going down, and I was, oh no, they're gonna go back up. Oh no, they're gonna go back up. Oh no, they're gonna go back up. I had no exit strategy. I had no strategy of like, yo, when this dips, if this dips 20% in total, I'm out. You know, because thinking about it after the fact, I would say, man, if I would have sold at the top and then bought back in, you know, later on down the line when things started kind of leveling out and hitting the bottom. So the advice for that would just be like, just stay grounded. You know, don't really get like too far ahead of yourself. Don't risk too much. Don't put yourself in a bad situation trying to invest. I mean, definitely take risk, but don't invest more than you can afford to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you think anybody can be a great investor by never taking a loss?
No. Okay. No, but I think what makes you, I think losses are a part of it. You know, you're going to take a loss, but what makes you a great investor, and you can, you know, watch videos of Warren Buffett and what's his name, Michael Kawasaki and all them. You want to minimize your losses as much as possible, you know. So it's about not putting too much at risk, you know. So it's like, if you were to buy into Bitcoin today, you say, oh, you know, Bitcoin is 11,000 or whatever, you know, and then it goes up to 11,500. You know, put yourself a stop loss and say, you know what, at least I want to break even. If it goes below 11,000, I will sell and try to get back in below, you know. But a lot of people are scared of, hey, it's going to hit 11,000, it's going to go to 12, it's going to go to 20, it's going to go to 100, I'm going to miss it. You know, and that fear, that FOMO, that fear of missing out will literally cause you to just sit there and watch yourself lose money. And just like waking up and seeing money in your compound, passive income is like the best feeling ever. Waking up and seeing your money go down is one of the worst feelings ever, you know.
To me, it's unavoidable. Like, to me, it's unavoidable. You have to get bitten by that shark of greed. And most new investors do, unless they were disciplined by their parents or something like that. Most new investors are going to get bit by the shark of greed, and even experienced investors. And
it still don't happen,
And so, what I also want to mention to people out there just getting into cryptocurrency is do not pay attention to other people's bags. Okay. Don't be counting other people's pockets. Don't be watching other people's wallets. Don't
count other people's pockets. That's a big rule right there.
Make it of no concern to you what other people are making or how much or how, because no one ever wants to share the times they're losing money. No one's on crypto Twitter talking about how much money they lost, how, oh man, you know, all the trades they fucked up on. Like, no one's talking about that shit.
You wouldn't even click on the video. Like,
exactly.
you
know,
like,
make that today on a scam thumbnail, like, right? Like, no one's right.
You're not gonna click on it. I would love to make those videos because I think those videos are helpful. You know, people need to see what to do. Like, when you're, you know, for example, if you're trading, you know, and you lose money on a trade, a lot of people don't know when to give up on that trade. And I would make videos on that, but nobody wants to hear about the losses. You know, they only want to know about the gains, you know.
So, and that's what, because it's, first of all, it's a distraction. And someone will always have more money than you. And that's just so, but no one's talking about the time. Like, here's the thing though. No one's talking about the times they lost all their private keys and all the crypto in their wallet. No one's talking about all the trades they lost. No one's talking about all the gas fees they spent. No one's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't know what people are coming up. You have no idea. And it's really none of your business.
Frustration, like some of the frustration people go through, like, blockchain is new, man. It's not easy. Like, you know, I always compare it to when MySpace was coming out. And if you wanted to add something to your MySpace, you had to know a little bit of coding lightweight. You know, you had to put the code in there. You know, nowadays it's like instant drag and drop type of, you know, post a picture, you good. You know, and it's not as easy for people to get in and do everything correct right away. You know, so there's a learning curve. So you might make some mistakes. You gonna make some mistakes, you know.
And another new thing for new investors I want to mention is you need to choose your actual, you need to choose, why are you getting into cryptocurrency? Is it to get more US dollars or is it to get more cryptocurrency? Because here's the thing, in my opinion, if you're just looking at to get 20,000 in USD, you're thinking short term, because this US dollar is being hyperinflated, right? So if you're only jumping into crypto just to get some more USD, that is a very short-term strategy. I'm not saying you can't do that. You can do it. It's there for you. That's what exchanges are there. You can do it. But my personal goal is to get more Bitcoin, to get more Ethereum, to get more Doge. But you know, that's how I view it. Why am I using this US? How can I use this USD to get more Bitcoin? How can I use this Ethereum to get more, you know, these DeFis to get more Ethereum? Like, so I've already chosen my monetary value. Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So how can I use USD to get more of each of those versus other way around? And to me, that's more of a lot better long-term strategy than just like, how can I flip this Bitcoin and get some more USD? And that's the beautiful thing about Bitcoin, is that you can do that. I'm not saying it's beautiful that you can use it to come flip it for it's fine, but that is a small pool, that is a small strategy, and to me, it's very short term. You know?
So for me, it's like, you know, with that, it's like, you know, that's one main thing that's big for people. You know, like when you get out, you have to measure, are you trying to get more USD, or you're trying to get more Bitcoin, or you're trying to get more Ethereum, you know, you're trying to get more crypto. On my channel, I talk about a lot how I like both. You know what I mean? Like, me getting in, when I first got in, it was like, man, this is so great. There's so many good coins. I don't have enough money to invest in all of them, you know? So it was just like, I want to short term, you know, long term, I got a bag. You know what I mean? I got Ethereum. I got a bunch of coins that I feel like long term, there's no denying them, you know? But then short term, it's like on the weekly or the monthly, there's also strategies that I use to you know, like I have a bag of Bitcoin that it's just there. You know, I'm never going to touch it 5-10 years, long-term strategy, whatever. I have another bag of Bitcoin that I'm using that to accumulate more Bitcoin. You know, I'm using that to do swing trades or monthly trades or stuff like that, and to accumulate more Bitcoin. And then, you know, just so that it's like, I can stop using my fiat because I still, as of right now, I still need my fiat to pay rent, pay bills, buy food, stuff like that. But I don't like to have a crypto.com card and use my Bitcoin to buy food. Like, hell no. Like, I'd rather have zero in my bank account and have hella Bitcoin than, you know, I've went back into, what I'm trying to say is I've went back into fiat very little, you know, like, you know.
And it's the peace of mind, because you know the majority of people have any little to nothing in crypto. So it's not that you're better than people. It's just you understand more and deeper about economics, value, and, you know, currency. And you know that your future is a lot more set than the majority of people who stand in the bank around you, right? You know? And so, and yeah, and it's especially keep your ego. There's a lot of ego, you know, especially if you're on crypto Twitter. There's a lot of personality and Roger Ver.
Sometimes you just gotta log off. Sometimes you just gotta log off crypto Twitter, man, because that'll wrong state. It'll make you want to do something crazy and sell all your coins.
Let me mention one more thing, and I'm gonna turn this. I'm gonna just turn it right now the dead end, right? The dead end, and this is what happens to me recently. It happens to everybody if they just admit it. I'm not saying, but it's when so many coins are coming out. No matter how much money you save, you can save up a couple hundred, couple thousand, even some cases hundreds of thousands. It gets to a point where you invest in Wi-Fi. Oh shit, I invest in DTH. Oh, there's a new coin. I'm investing in. So we keep investing and we keep investing and we keep investing until it hits the point where shit. Fuck, how can I get some more Ethereum in my wallet right now? Damn, my bank account's fucking.
Bro.
My next paycheck don't come.
I had that problem last week. There were so many coins popping off, and I felt like so many more coins are gonna pop off, and I'm like, I don't want to sell these coins, but I done ran down all the Ethereum fees was so high. I done ran down all the Ethereum in my wallet.
I call it the dead end. It's not that you're broke, but it's kind of like you're broke right there, because like all these coins are just taking off, right? They haven't really exploded. You're still racking up and it's like, damn, I got all this other money. I need to pay rent. I got to pay food. I got to pay my weed. Like, and you're like, damn. All right, well, I got this other crypto. No, I should hold on. I should hold on. Nah, I'm gonna cash out a little bit. Nah, you know, and it's just like, that's another, and that's where I need to figure out the word for that. But sometimes, like what happened to me where I actually had to quit, like I actually had to just give this a break, is that I tried to jump in the Ethereum and X Ample pool. I don't know if you heard of X Ample, but I tried to jump in the Ethereum X anti-Ample liquidity pool. Yeah, it's called anti.
What's that?
It's against. It's like totally against Ample. It's like fuck Ample. Yeah, it's a meme coin. It's taking off right now. It's taking off, right?
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's called anti-Ample. It's just like completely fuck Ample. It's the opposite of Ample, right? So, I tried to get in that liquidity pool. I tried one transaction, failed, lost about $1 in gas. Tried another transaction, failed, lost about it, and I got so frustrated. I tried 6 times. I lost about $6-7 in gas fees, and I'm realizing I'm spending way too much on gas. I'm like, I need to just chill the fuck out right now. I tried 7 transactions. They all failed one after another.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Too much. I'm going too far. I'm stretching it too far. I'm breaking all my investment rules. I'm on them drugs right now.
Breaking up, bro.
I'm gonna stop looking at CoinGecko. I'm gonna get off crypto Twitter because this shit is addicting, man. Uniswap, casino.
Yeah, and that's it. Literally, like last week, I was having the same problem. Like, you know, DOS. Like DOS is one of my. I like the low cap gem coins when I'm, you know, for.
Yeah, let's talk about those.
Yeah, I like the low cap gem coins. They start popping off, but one of them, like. I was trying to stake, you know, and the stake pools, they usually start off at a pretty high ass ROI. I mean, at a a high APY. So I'm like, I got to get in now. I got to get in today.
Yeah.
This is going to go in tomorrow, you know, and then it's like, I hit accept and the fee is like $59, bro.
Whoa.
Like, what? And I hit accept without even thinking about it. And I'm like, I hope that don't go through. I hope that don't go through because I don't want to spend $59 worth of Ethereum to do something.
So,
but
and that's how, not to interrupt you, that's how you know we still are in the early days. You know, when we don't even know how much gas we're going to spend and we accidentally spend too, like, you know, like these problems will be figured out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and these are just the stories we can tell, like, and laugh back. And you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that $50, some people spend it like $200 in gas. Like I saw it like on crypto Twitter, like, yo, because I teach mentees how to invest, and the dude was just about to invest like $15 a dime, but it cost $11 in gas. And I'm like, bro, I can't have you do that, bro. I can't have you
do that.
Man, like, just hold off, you know? So, before we wrap it up, let's talk about your favorite, your top 5. I know there's many, but give me your top 5 crypto gems. Why? Take as much time you need to explain about each of them. And yeah, I'm interested in hearing your top 5 crypto DeFi.
Top 5. So for me, it's like we talked about in the beginning of this video, man, there's just, the crypto space is so broad and there's so much going on. So, you know, like there's DeFi, there's all the different type of tokens and stuff like that. You got video game tokens, all that. But I'm going to just talk about the top 5 that I think is under the radar doing things. So first, I always got to say Ethereum for sure, because like people hate on ETH, but it's like, man, everything you love and everything you like is built on top of ETH. So we can't really hate on ETH unless we see everybody really start switching over to different platforms. Like, you know, a lot of these projects ain't gonna get going without their training wheels, and ETH is the training wheels. You know, ETH is, you know, all these main nets is because everything started off on ETH. And just like with the gas fees and everything that we do in DeFi, we need to buy ETH for that. So that's number 1. But that's the boring pick. I would say, secondly, just right off the top that I could think of, like DAG, Constellation token. It's a centralized token, but when it comes to long-term usability and use case and just looking at the partnerships and stuff like that, working with the United States government and the United States defense and all that, Air Force, there's DAG. Another one that I just talked about recently is EOS, which is an Oracle solution. You know, the Oracles is going to be big. Like Chainlink is pretty, you know, Chainlink is popping off. That's another one of my favorite coins, but like I said, it's more on the boring side. Everybody's talking about Chainlink, you know. But definitely DOS has hit his all-time high today, you know, barely today. So that one's cool. And then let me see. I would say number two. I mean, man, there's a lot. Oh, Seek. I'll say the Seek VR token. See, like right now, I think in the short term, next 2 to 3 years, you know, it's gonna be a real big change as far as like things opening back up, coronavirus dying down, especially here in the U.S. You know, I think the Seek token being VR, and people don't really realize, but they're about to be used in schools. They're about to be used in public schools in Miami to actually give classes through virtual reality, which I think is a great idea, especially for right now. So that one. And then as far as like DeFi tokens, I'll say Kyber Network and probably Kyber and Compound. I'll put those two in the same kind of situation as far as like in the long run, just, you know, good investments. You know, like you said, you explained Compound perfectly, like the 6 ways you can make money just from having that damn coin. So I think some of those coins are just, you know, they're bound to pop off, but there's plenty of other ones, man. There's so much out there as far as like I just look at as far as like what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? Like I said, I have a long-term bag and then I have a short-term bag. And the low cap gems and stuff like that is more the short term because, you know, after going through the bear market last time, it's just, you see how things don't really stick around. You know, you see how things, the projects stick around. Let me rephrase that. The projects stick around, the protocols stick around, the technology sticks around. But the buyers and the price does not always stay up. You know, so in order to minimize my risk, you know, I have to keep that in mind and at least make sure that I'm trying to break even on everything, you know, and that's, you know, minimizing risk is one of those things that just, you know, I got to recommend that for everybody. Like, you know, if you're making passive income with it, go ahead and use it. But once the risk starts taking you into the negative, you got to start rethinking your strategy. But yeah, I would say that's top 5, man. But definitely out of the high caps, I would say ETH, man. ETH and Link is some of my top holdings right there as far as the big boys go.
Dope. That's what's up. So, what's your YouTube channel? Tell everybody your name, your channel, your email, where they can find you, hit you up.
My channel is Everything Currency. Go ahead and check that out. Maybe we could put a link in the description for y'all. Yeah. I got a Telegram group, Everything Currency. Go ahead and join that. I just started it, and I'm not really promoting it too much. I just want to get people who are really, really down and really, really involved. I don't just want a bunch of people in there, you know, kind of just talking shit to each other and stuff like that. I want people who's really into this investing thing, really into crypto, really excited about what's going on. So if you're into that, there's my Telegram group, Everything Currency. You can follow me on Twitter as well, Everything Currency. Yeah.
Dope. Well, this was actually a pretty fun chat, brother. You actually are pretty educated on this technology. You've been around in this game for a while. You got a lot of wisdom. So I'll definitely be watching your channel. I'll be hitting you up. And yeah, it was nice talking to you, brother. You were good, brother.
Man, thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. So yeah, you guys hit me up for the crypto mentorship. Check out the links. Download the Brave browser. All right. Much love. Aloha.
Peace.